pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Working at Continental Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. Now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits. Plus, medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com. Word Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
It's springtime, and you know what that means. It's sandal season at Brown Shoe Fit. To celebrate the start of the season, we're offering $10 off sandals under $105 and $15 off sandals $110 or more, now through May 14th. Enjoy brands like Atrex, Teva, Clarks, Taos, Keen, and many more on sale now. This deal won't last long, so come on down to Brown Shoe Fit for our spring sandal sale. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. Brown Shoe Fit Lincoln, 66 and Q.
Brown, this is the Ticket Water Cooler.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
A busy day in the Husker sports land, and we're here to talk about it here on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket. I am Jake Bakoven. He is Enrique Alvarez Clary, and he is not standing up.
No. Sorry.
Terrell usually stands up, so the camera have to adjust it a little bit, but I did notice that. Made the tweak. Husker football doing a lot of tweaks to the roster today. Maybe we'll see some more, but it's been a busy day. We'll get to that here in a second. Also, Hunter Sallis choosing his location to go play college basketball, and it is not Nebraska. It is Wake Forest. So very disappointing on that front too. Not a lot of great news. One deal of great news, and we've got somebody to give us a little bit of an insight on here, Rico, and it's you. Is the volleyball tickets. Been tough to get. Nebraska volleyball.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Going to have their outdoor event prior to the Husker opening football game. What is that? A few days before then?
August 30th.
August 30th.
So it's the day before Nebraska plays Minnesota.
Oh, the day before.
Because
that's right.
Wednesday is the volleyball game. Yeah. Thursday is the football game.
That will be fun. And of course, Nebraska.
It's also KJ's second birthday.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a good birthday party.
So there you go. He'll be there. 2-year-old KJ will be at the volleyball match.
He will, and it is official now that you have your tickets. But it was not easy to get your tickets because Nebraska apparently, while launching that they were available on their website has been really struggling the last couple of days.
Yeah, so the tickets went on sale yesterday for season ticket holders, and there is I don't know if it's a rumor exactly, but there was some rumblings that, so it went on for season ticket holders and alumni. There were some rumblings that an alumni wanted to buy 500 tickets yesterday. Don't think they let them because that's a poop ton of tickets, and they would rather that go to the other fans, whatever. But today it went on sale to the general public, right? Mm-hmm. There's no general admission. It's all reserved seating, so you get your seats and you sit in those seats, right? Well, I went online right at 10. Opened it up right at 10, clicked on the link right at 10 when it opened. I waited in a queue for 10 minutes. So I was an online queue that was just a little running man, and it was going, and then it finally popped up and said, "Okay, you're up. Buy your tickets." It gave me the option of North Stadium, East Stadium, 600 level, and something else. I don't remember exactly what it was, but $25 for adults and everything, and $10 for high school age and younger, right? I'm trying to get 12 tickets, right? So for the family, I'm gonna be there as media, but the family wants to be there, so I'm trying to get 12 tickets. And every time I click on it, it's saying that there's no tickets available for this section. There's no tickets available. You can't pick your section. Well, I don't know if you could have picked your section. I didn't get that far, but it kept saying there were no tickets available for the price point that I was choosing. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I tried one ticket, still nothing. Tried 2 tickets, still nothing. Tried all 12, nothing. Tried that for a while, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going down to the ticket office. So I told Mark, I said, Mark, I'll be right back. Ran down to the ticket office, a little bit of a line, not too terrible of a line. Got there, and when I got up to the front, they were like, okay, here's your tickets. And when I tell you, so the volleyball court is closer to North Stadium. It's not quite in the end zone. They have bleacher seats in the end zone. So the edge of the volleyball court is going to be right at like the 5, something like that. And it's in North Stadium, right? I am the concert court is further into South Stadium. The tickets that I got are south of the 50-yard line. By a couple sections. So if they keep the volleyball court where it is, they opened up South Stadium seating. So they sold tickets for South Stadium. If they keep the volleyball court where it is, if you're sitting in South Stadium, yeah, good luck. Good luck seeing the volleyball court.
Seeing much of it.
Yeah, you're
gonna
the
big screen.
You're gonna sit. That's like sitting in the nosebleeds for the national championship game in basketball.
Yeah.
You can see the court and you can see the people running around. But you don't really know what's happening.
Yeah.
So my guess, and they talked about this at the opening presser when they announced that it was volleyball day in Nebraska and that this was going to happen, that they would consider moving the court depending on the demand for tickets. Well, I believe they sold out already. I believe it was, 45, 50 minutes, maybe an hour, and they sold out.
Of their allotment.
Which was probably half of the stadium. And they opened up South Stadium right away. And I'm pretty sure if they're not sold out, they're pretty damn close. They sold out of the online tickets in about 30 minutes. So if you went to the ticket office, you could get them that way. I got mine, by the way. And I hope everybody else can get theirs. But I think they're going to open it up a little bit more and see how many more they can sell. But if they don't end up moving the court, it's going to be a problem, because you can say, oh, people, want to be excited for the concert and all this. They still haven't announced who the concert is.
Right.
So this
and
being
at this
sold
point,
out,
they could probably save money because the demand's high enough.
Yeah, you don't need a concert.
You don't need to get a good act. Just get whatever.
You don't even need an act. You don't even need a concert after. Okay, there are probably some people that are buying it like, oh, I'm going to go to a concert afterwards, blah, blah, blah. You don't know who it is, so it could be somebody you don't even like. But they've sold out of these tickets for volleyball. If they don't move the court to the closer to the 50, I mean, hell, you could put it at the 50. And I don't know the logistics. I don't know how the whole concert stage setup, court setup, how long it takes to tear it all down and tear it all out.
If there's like a windy day, all that stuff you got to figure out.
Okay, so I'll get to that.
Okay.
So to me, you got to move the court to the 50, right? You have to, so that everybody gets the same view, whatever, the people that are at the midfield, right at the 50, they're getting the best view. The people at South and North aren't getting the best view, but it's still the same view for both. It's not, oh, you're in North Stadium, you're getting a much better view than the people in South Stadium. You have to move it to the middle and then figure out a way to tear the court down, move the concert in, and then put that at the 50, because I do remember they said they didn't want the concert stage in an end zone. They didn't want it in the end zone because that would give some people a much better view than other people. So to me, you figure out a way, and again, I don't know the logistics. I don't know how long it would take to set up, tear down, sound check, all of this stuff. But you have to figure out a way to get the concert and the court closer to the 50 for Memorial Stadium so that everybody has the same view.
Yeah.
Because it's just not going to be it's just not feasible to have the court on one side and the stage on one where, some people are going to be like, yeah, I love this. The volleyball game is fantastic. And so other people are going to be like, yeah, this concert's great. I'm right here. I'm, pretty much front and center. So it's going to be really interesting what they end up deciding to do. Hopefully we hear from Trev and the athletic department in hopefully today about what they're going to do about that, maybe in the next coming days, when in regards to volleyball day in Nebraska. But it's going to be a really interesting event. And you said if it's a windy day or if it's rainy, so it said right on the thing when I'm waiting in the line for online tickets, right? It said if inclement weather happens, they will be moving the games to Devaney.
Ooh.
So, and they said they will fit as many ticket holders as they can into Devaney, and then refund the tickets.
Yikes.
So that's going to be an issue if it's inclement weather
plan, huh?
on August 30th.
I don't know if they had like some nets or something, but I don't know.
I was thinking PBA. I was thinking PBA. I don't know why you wouldn't move it there. At least, because Devaney sits, I don't know, 8,000 standing with the standing room only, something like that. I could be way off. It's not. It's 6 to 8 probably, somewhere around there, right?
Well, let's look it up because did they set the record in Omaha?
They did not in Omaha, but Devaney does not seat that many.
Right.
The record is somewhere in the 40s, 30s, I believe.
Well, right now, I thought that I saw that
Wisconsin and Florida have it because Nebraska and Creighton set it in Omaha, and then a week later, Wisconsin and Florida set it because they had it in the basketball arena up inWisconsin.
And this was in 2022, right?
Yes, this was last year.
Yeah, this is so the regular season record. Maybe is it more than the regular season record? Maybe I'm looking.
No, it's the regular season record.
Was 16,833.
Yeah,
which you could obviously beat by a mile, and it will set to beat by a mile probably in Memorial Stadium.
The problem with PBA is that the problem with PBA is you don't have that.
PBA does not have
does not
capacity.
beat 16,000.
So certainly, I don't know what. Like you said, we don't know Devaney's capacity. I'll look it up, but
it's not.
It's
it's not over 10,000.
Yeah,
I can tell you that with certainty, it's not over 10,000. So, it'll be really interesting to see what happens, and hopefully everybody that's trying to get their tickets online can get them. But I am expecting movement in terms of the volleyball court and the concert stage in regards to that August 30th doubleheader match / concert for volleyball day in Nebraska.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch, and it will be just quite a big dud if they have to move it, not just for the concert goers, but really, well, not the concert, the volleyball fans there at Memorial Stadium. But really, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this is to beat the record, right? And do it in a way that makes it almost unattainable for anybody else to break.
You're gonna do it. Like, it's shattered already. Just based on ticket sales, it's shattered. It's gone.
As long as it's not windy.
Yeah. then sorry about it.
Then you don't break it, and you just go play some games indoors.
So somebody says, what about people who bought north tickets for the view that could have bought 50-yard tickets? Well, sucks to suck. Sorry about it. And I know that you're probably going to be like, oh, well, if you're in South Stadium, you have to understand that, this is the layout and you're buying these tickets knowing that this is going to be your potential view. I get that. But at the same time, no. Because they had already talked about moving it. Now they said they don't want it in the stuff in the 50s or in the end zones, but you can move the court closer to the 50s, still keep the stage out of the end zone if you shorten what looks to be a walkway between the stage and the court. Because right now that walkway starts on the north side 45 and ends on the south 25. Where the concert stage starts.
Yeah.
That's way too long of I don't know if it's a walkway or what. That's way too long. That's too much. You don't need it. You don't need the whole thing.
Well, and to clarify, too, for people, too, it's not just the seats at Memorial Stadium. They're adding floor seats or field seats.
Well, they have benches. They have bleachers in the north end zone that will overlook the volleyball court. Then there's like media seating all around there. But then all around the volleyball, so behind the media and all the way up that like walkway going to the court, student standing room only. So all that is kind of full with students who are just going to be standing on the field ready to do that. So it's there are ways to move it, still have all the area and still have all the room for everybody. And please, if not everybody, at least a large contingent of people who are going there to watch volleyball. Because again, they haven't announced who the concert, who's going to be headlining the concert, who's going to be doing the concert. So to me, this means that everybody that's buying tickets is buying it for volleyball and not for the concert.
Well, and it is volleyball day, and that's
the main reason. That's the main draw.
The concert was going to help, right? But the main idea was
if you didn't say there was a concert, I still think this happens.
Yeah. I don't think many people are doing it just because you're
nobody
getting a
cares.
concert out of it.
I mean, some people care. Nobody cares though.
Depends. I mean, what's now I'm drawing a blank, but the guy that basically sells out Memorial Stadium like 4 times when he comes here, or I guess it was Pinnacle Bank Arena. Friends in Low Places.
I don't know. Don't ask me country artists. I couldn't help
guy
you.
that goes twingy twang twang. No, I don't know.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
Sorry. He's a good act. But I mean, if he is going to be the concert, then we'll certainly sell out Memorial Stadium. So it kind of depends.
Oak Valley Huskers mad at me. Says you suck, Rico. I got tickets in North Stadium. Should have been earlier if you wanted good seats. I opened it up right when it was 10 o'clock. So I don't suck. You suck.
Garth Brooks, by the way.
You're the one that got him in North Stadium. Maybe you should have got him at the 50, realizing that they were going to move it.
Yeah.
We said everybody that was at the presser when they announced this said that there's a possibility that they move the court.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's right.
If the demand was high, there was a possibility that the court was moved. You should have realized that and bought them closer to the 50.
Plus, every ticket's $25, right? It's not like
adult tickets are 25, high school and under are 10.
But it's not like you paid 55 and now they're going to move it.
Yeah.
And you're still going to have to be stuck with the worst seat.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, I know there's some questions on the text line and in YouTube about Nebraska's transfer portal. Been a busy day. We'll break it down. Coming up next here on the Ticket Water Cooler, 93.7 The Ticket.
America's been around since 1776. That's nothing. America's still just learning how to party. The Irish? The Irish have been doing it for thousands of years. Party the Irish way at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket. They've got your favorite Irish beers on tap, along with locals and domestics. Plus great house cocktails, a huge selection of Irish whiskey, and the best Irish pub food in town. See the full menu and specials online at McKinney'spub.com. Just head down there. McKinney's Irish Pub at 7th and P in the Haymarket.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs, very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. Our virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at the Spring Mega Sale. We're taking our better than internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, April 24th through Saturday, April 29th, the Spring Mega Sale is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Back to the Ticket water cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on a very triple portery afternoon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are those words?
Those aren't really words, but I made them up, and it feels like the day. That kind of describes the day pretty well. Nebraska, of course, had some transfer portal news yesterday with Richard Torres and Victor Jones Jr., as well as whispers of Logan Smothers entering the transfer portal. Today it is official. Logan Smothers is in the transfer portal, along with Stephon Wynn, Sean Hardy, and Braxton Clark today. Those are your transfer portal news updates. Guys that have played for the Huskers, stuck through the spring, and looks like probably didn't quite make the team and are off, I don't want to say greener pastures, but hopefully green pastures somewhere, because that's the color of football fields, unless they transfer to Boise State.
Or Western Kentucky.
They
are off to pastures.
They're off to some sort of pastures.
There you go. That's where they're off to.
Yeah. Of the departures so far, I know Logan Smothers interests you and hurts you a little bit. Very loyal, as many Husker fans know. Committed in 2018. Didn't come to campus until 2020. Of course, has stuck through. Feels like a different quarterback coach, different offensive coordinator, different head coach every year, every
My
couple
man's
years.
been through everything.
Yeah, and ultimately, I thought I was a little bit surprised by it, just because he sat out the spring with an injury. If it looked like he was going to need to be, they were going to need to move off of him. Maybe they could have done it earlier. I'm not sure. Again, with these things, you never know how much of it is the player's decision, how much of it is a scholarship limit decision. So I was a little bit surprised by Logan Smothers, and I must note this. I think it could hurt Nebraska a little bit. I still see him, and where we saw Heinrich Harburg and Chubba Purdy in the spring didn't look like they made a big enough steps to where I would see Logan Smothers, a healthy Logan Smothers is probably Logie. Yeah, that's cool.
I like that.
As probably a third quarterback.
I think that I want to agree with you on that, because as you know, I love Logan Smothers. And I think he's going to be fantastic wherever he ends up. But I think that he'd fallen so far down the depth chart with being injured and not able to practice, where, I guess depending on if Casey Thompson enters the transfer portal, if he doesn't win the job or whatever happens there, and I'm only saying that because Jeff Sims just transferred in. He's not going to leave.
Yeah.
So you've got Jeff and Casey. Those are your 1-2. Like, that's, as if both of them are here, that's 1-2. Signed, sealed, delivered. Chubba and Heinrich are battling for 3. So, and whoever's after that would be 4. I think Logan has found himself so far down the totem pole, regardless of his ability to run and the way that I think he would fit pretty well in this offense, so far down the totem pole that he doesn't see a chance for him to really move up, even if he comes back from that injury, to get into a place where if something were to happen, he would get some significant type of playing time. So although he was loyal kind of to a fault to Nebraska, saying he came here, he's going to compete, he wants to be the quarterback for Nebraska, and that may have cost him a couple of years in college, playing college ball. I think he just found himself so far low that he wasn't going to have a chance. So him leaving comes as a little bit of a surprise to me. But once you kind of sit down and you think about it a little bit, it makes sense that he's the first quarterback to enter the portal.
Well, and I think too, regardless of where
second after Richard Torres.
Right. And so you are down to 4, by the way, with your backup options to your prominent, the guys that we talk about starting would be Chubba Purdy and Heinrich Harburg. Again, looked like Heinrich maybe took the 3rd spot there. Maybe Chubba's in there. One way or another, I'm not comfortable with either of them. If you're going to have them have your full starter as of right now, of course, they've got years to develop. Logan, for what it's worth, came in with a goal to graduate from the University of Nebraska. He's doing that. So congrats to him, and then he will be transferring. And I think, regardless of where we talk, well, he could have been 3rd, he could have been 4th. He might, I'm really intrigued by where he goes because I always kind of looked at him as a guy that might start in the MAC.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's playing time that he's looking for, you graduate and then you go and get your playing time. You can't fault the guy for that. Obviously, with the injury situation, just kind of strange that it took until now to have either the Huskers move off of him or for him to make his decision. But it is there. The other big one, I think, is Stephon Wynn. That surprised some people. Had a pretty good spring game. We had a question off of YouTube, I believe it was. Sal Savola says, does losing our big defensive lineman in the 6th year mean we're still looking in the portal for big guys there on that side of the ball? I think there is a possibility there, but there was a lot of guys on the defensive line that flashed in the spring game. Stephon Wynn was one of them. But they have a lot of guys. Now, when you're talking about guys with his size, you're talking about the Nash Hutmuckers, the Ty Robinsons. So he might have been kind of feeling like he was falling down the depth chart there as well. But when you talk about the other thing is it's just numbers. So if they go to the defensive line coach, say, we need a guy out of your room, and you think, okay, well, maybe you could use Stephon Wynn this year, but you're going to get 4 years out of Cam Linhart. You're going to get 4 years out of Princewell Uman-Wayland. I mean, they've got Kai Wallen. I mean, so there was just, I feel like this spring game, although he had a good spring game, a lot of guys on that defensive line had a good spring game. So I do understand that he did play last year, had 22 tackles. This might have been from people maybe reading it, maybe more of his decision than an 85 scholarship limit decision. But I can also say that defensive line room, you got a lot of guys in it. Now the question is, do you want another 300-pounder, another guy that you could put in the absolute middle?
Well, and I'm not sure about the whole 3-3-5, and if you need a nose guard or if you need somebody to eat space, what you have to do there. But Stephon Wynn, he showed it last year. In those games, he ended up with 22 tackles, as we've said, but he showed his ability to not only eat space, but make plays from that defensive tackle position from the defensive line. So it's going to hurt to miss him, to lose him, because although there are a lot of talented guys in the defensive line room, I think he's probably your most experienced guy in the defensive line room. And it would have been really nice to have him back to pair with some of those younger guys, because as we've said, he's a big body. And even if he doesn't end up getting behind the line, making plays, tackling the running back, getting sacks in the backfield, what he can do and what he could do was eat space, take up blockers, and free up those linebackers for those blitzes that are definitely going to be dialed up in the 3-3-5, and be able to take 2 blockers to himself and make it so that somebody has a free run at the quarterback or a free line into whatever hole to bury the running back for no gain, very short yardage, or for a loss. So it's very surprising to see Stephon Wynn, but as you said, there are some very talented guys in that defensive line room. He's got 1 year left. You've got Judy, who's dealing with his ankle injury. You've got Nash, who, although he hasn't shown a lot in terms of production, has shown, the strength and the want to be.
He was like the
that guy.
tackleless wonder for a while because he would play quite a bit. But
He'd always be there, and you'd always see him like around the ball.
Yeah.
But he wasn't credited with a tackle until this last season. So.
But of course, as we know, with these the heavier guys, those are space eaters, like you said, not necessarily guys that you expect to go out there and get 85 tackles.
You're just gonna move some bodies and free. Yeah. Well, he was a freak.
He's different. Yeah.
You're gonna move some bodies. You're gonna free things up for your linebackers and your defensive backs to get back there and make some tackles. So that is what Stephon Wynn did magnificently this last season, and it's going to hurt to lose him. But like you said, you've got to get down to the limit, and probably going to lose at least one person out of a lot of rooms.
Yeah. Again, the names that I would look for on the defensive line, why you might not need another guy to the portal. Again, Ty Robinson, Kai Wallen, Cam Linhart, Roquan Buckley, Brody Tagaloa had a good game. A.J. Rollins making a good transition over there. Nash Hutmacher, Prince Umanwalen, and Elijah Judy. I still think you're feeling pretty good once even getting into the third team there.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of those guys are young. Again, maybe that kind of played a factor into how many years are you going to get out of the production there. But anyways, best of wishes to all these guys, Stephon Wynn included. Of course, we mentioned Sean Hardy. I mentioned before, he was a Scout Team Player of the Year in 2021, had some high interest, 6'3", 190, the second receiver, along with Victor Jones Jr. to hit the portal. Again, both those guys previous, they just kind of got wrapped up in the coaching transition. Those are projects the previous coaching staff liked, and they haven't hit the point where you would expect production from them yet. So you're just kind of moving off of those guys, those projects for projects that the new coaching staff wants to work on. And Braxton Clark, who again, I feel a little bit bad for Braxton, and maybe it is what it is here, but I felt like he never got back from his injury. As a young, I think it was a freshman, might have been redshirt freshman. I have to go back and look. He was like he's like the third cornerback, and playing quite a bit. Then he had an injury going into the next year, and we've just never seen him get back to that level.
There was one season where coming into the season, he was projected as the number 2 corner.
Right.
And that was the season that he got hurt during the offseason. And like you said, he just hasn't come back from that because he's a big body, 6'3"?
Yes.
As a cornerback, he's got good hips, he's got good speed, and he was the guy that everybody was excited about. The injury just derailed all of that. And as you said, he hasn't really come back from it, kind of struggled the last couple of seasons. So it sucks to lose a big body like that. And it sucks to lose a guy who had all of the talent in the world, and you're not sure how the injury affected him, but hopefully wherever he ends up going, he can get back to that Braxton Clark that we were all excited for.
Yeah.
I have from Mike Schaefer, actually.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about wide receivers. Nebraska signed 17. This is from our good friend Mike Schaefer of 24/7 Sports. Nebraska signed 17 high school wide receivers under Frost in the 2018 to 2022 classes. Only 2 remain on the roster. Can you name those 2?
High school, Xavier Betts.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll give you a hint. He's not a wide receiver anymore.
Oh, okay. No, you just did. Now you're really confused me. Go ahead.
Janarian Bonner.
Janarian Bonner. Okay, yeah.
Those are the only 2 receivers from the 18 to 22 classes that remain on the roster. One is a tight end / fullback.
Yeah.
And the other one just came back to the team after leaving.
Yeah, I saw Mitch Sherman also, kind of tweeted out something similar, was that Marcus Washington now is the only wide receiver who finished last season with Nebraska. The only scholarship wide receiver that finished last season with Nebraska. Of course, because Xavier Betts left, and Janarian Bonner now moving to tight end. So interesting. You still feel kind of good about that, but we will see. What Blanket doing a good job on the text line, living up to his name, says, so the offensive line has been weak for years, and the defensive line looked deep and talented in the spring game, including 3 guys who should be going to the high school prom this month. Does this spring game performance really say anything about the depth of the defensive talent? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the offensive line still, isn't good enough to grade against. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty excited about those guys. I understand the why to throw the wet blanket on there.
Mm-hmm.
But if I came away from anything from the spring game, is they've got a lot of young talent on that defensive line. Again, maybe it doesn't measure up to a great offensive line quite yet, and we won't be able to know that till you see some of those better offensive lines in the Big Ten. So I mean, I'm not here to say the defensive line is an A+. I'm just saying
Let's put it this way. they may not have an impact this season, but you can see what could be there if they develop correctly within this coaching staff. Those young guys are going to be fun to watch in the coming years. If it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen in the next few years with those young guys.
Yeah, and I think Roquan Buckley is kind of getting to a point in the program where you start to expect something from him. Kai Walton's a JUCO. That's an immediate. You expect something from him. Prince William Whalen, good luck keeping him off the field.
Yeah.
And that guy showed enough to me. And I know it was just a spring game, but he's playing with the ones. He was mentioned as one of the best, with the first guy, I believe, mentioned when they asked for who's really stepping up the pass rush. I think Coach White said Prince Wellman Whalen among 5 names that he listed out there. So I do think a lot of those guys are going to play. And again, it's somewhat of a hit with losing Stephon Wynn. But it might have been a planned hit. So, I mean, take
you never know.
Kind of take it for what it is there. We'll come back. We got to take a break. When we do come back, we'll talk a little bit of Hunter Sallis choosing Wake Forest, kind of what it means for Nebraska basketball. Also get into kind of the playoffs. There's some interesting stuff. Is it time to blow up things with the Clippers? Of course, Teron Lue, would he be part of that? So we'll talk about that stuff coming up next year on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket.
Keep summer green with Judson Bylene and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install them and forget them outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collections. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and count dollars in damage when it can be avoided. Call John Henry. Hey, for your
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Bags, we're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're gonna have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon wrap dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon wrap dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between. Capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour hotline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
The Empire brand is growing. See fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technology. Internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we got a few things to get here before we wrap up the Ticket Water Cooler. We have to start with a little bit of Southern Pecan Cake. Rico, you have to try it because I already tried it.
Okay.
And Nick has already tried it, but he has to
Can you
try
give
it
me the
again
cake?
because what do you guys have? There's a piece.
I don't know who ate off of that.
Oh, I think it was cut off, but yeah.
I don't know who ate off of that.
There were the two dudes in front of us. We're okay.
Yeah. You want another piece, Nick, or are you gonna wait till the happy hour?
I'm gonna wait till the happy hour.
Yeah, you guys have to try it in the happy hour. We're doing it every show because we're promoting it. Obviously, it's great. From Beatrice Bakery, I already tried mine. It was delicious.
They had
And
like
now
a prototype like a couple months ago, and Sip ate like all of it by himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is the final version.
Oh,
of it.
okay.
So this is the perfected version.
It is delicious. I've having it last hour. I could probably eat it all myself too, but I'm watching my weight a little bit.
Yeah.
You gotta get the
I'm
summer.
trying to,
You gotta
yeah.
get ready for the
Yeah, the
swimsuit.
summer bod. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I want to know.
I'm not the biggest fan of pecans, but just pretty good.
Oh, it is really good.
You
Soft
never,
pecans.
you never hear about dudes getting their summer bod.
Yeah.
You always hear about
Yeah, you do.
the guys that say, "Oh, I'm working on my summer bod." Do you actually do it?
Well, I don't know. Do they?
What
Text
is it?
line.
Hot boy summer, hot guy summer,
Hot dad, hot dad summer.
hot dad summer this year.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you always hear about girls like, I can't eat Taco Bell because I got to watch
Yeah.
my weight or something like that for the summer. 'cause
Guys
they
say
have
that,
to
and
be in
then
a bikini.
they just eat Taco Bell. Anyways.
Yeah, I enjoy Taco Bell.
Yeah, you
I
ain't
know.
working on your body.
I ain't working on my body.
Guys, how do we feel about Hunter Sallis going to Wake Forest?
Eh.
I'm here to upset us.
Yeah.
Are we surprised? Okay.
Not shocked.
Wake
No,
Forest.
Nebraska
The
was
fact
in
that
it.
it's Wake Forest, yes. The fact that it's not Nebraska, no.
No, I am not surprised either one because if you know anything about Steve Forbes, somehow he just always recruits. He just recruits well. He's a guy that players and recruits get along with really, really well. Hunter Sallis when he went to Winston-Salem or no. Winston,
Yes.
Is that where
Yep,
Wake Forest
yep.
is? I was thinking NC State for a moment. Where's NC State?
Raleigh.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, when he went to Winston-Salem, it was 80 plus degrees and he was able to hang out. And he comes to Nebraska a week later, a week closer to summer, and it's a 43-degree day with wind and it's cold, and you're watching a football game. Like, here's the thing: Nebraska did everything they could. I almost came in on the captain, because it's not as easy as I think people believe it is to just get guys to come to a school. You can't force a guy, whether he's in state or whether he's not, to go to a certain school. You can't, just because you're an in-state school doesn't mean that you have this like automatic pull, or you have these automatic this automatic ability to just say, nope, you're not going to Wake Forest, you're coming to Nebraska, or you're coming to Creighton. You can't do that. Nebraska is not a basketball powerhouse, and that's not. I truly don't think that is why Hunter Sallis didn't choose Nebraska.
Has the allure for playing Fred Hoiberg lessened over the years?
No, I just think it's just a feel thing. I think maybe we just read so much into this, like, in-state guy going to Nebraska, or they need to stay at home. And yes, that's important. And it's important, and it's a priority for a lot of recruits. And maybe I'm going to piss some people off by saying this, but I just think, once again, we're at this day and age where it's just normal. It's becoming more normal, I should say, or we're getting used to guys just going other places. And this does not just happen at Nebraska.
Happens everywhere.
Like California guys, obviously there's more of them. They're going all over. Texas guys, not all of them go to Texas or Texas A&M or Texas Tech or Baylor. They're going everywhere. Same with Oklahoma. And I feel like no matter where you're at, same with Missouri, when you have these like recruiting hotbed areas, that Omaha, frankly, is becoming one. Omaha is becoming a hotbed.
It's getting there.
And so when you see, for goodness sakes, Lincoln, Northwestern's linebackers coach was just visiting Lincoln East High School yesterday. This is what the day and age of college football is now, and just collegiate sports. Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman were in Ainsworth a couple months ago. You have
This is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
It's a good thing for the state.
It's a great thing. And you're going to just eventually lose people. And also, until Nebraska starts winning games, they might not get the top players. They're still getting in-state guys that they feel like they fit, but you're maybe not going to get the top players every single year. And so with Hunter Sallis specifically, going back to college basketball, I think this wasn't a case necessarily of like going to a winner or going to, I truly think this was a relationship thing, and people are going to push back going, oh, well, Nebraska was in on him coming out of high school.
So was Wake Forest.
The guy is 2 years out of high school.
And
the guy understands college basketball as well. And he understands like the landscape. And so when you also go into Steve Forbes, nobody really knows how he does it, but he just somehow connects really well and better than a lot of coaches with recruits. That's what happens. And
also,
that's just what happens.
Playing in the ACC, you're going to be playing against more NBA talent than the Big Ten is a great basketball conference for college. In terms of NBA talent, there is more in the ACC. He'll be playing against better competition there. And again, so this isn't a shot at Sallis or Luttrell or anybody. Some people don't want to be the hero to bring a program back from the brink of death or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people don't want that kind of pressure. They want to go and they want to play basketball. They want to enjoy themselves. They want to put themselves in a good position to move on to the next level. And I understand Nebraska has had 3 players in the last 3-4 years go to the NBA, all second-round picks. You go to Alabama, they're about to have a top 4 pick in the NBA, top 3, wherever he's going to go. I don't know. You go there, you're going to get developed by a good coach. Yeah, all the drama surrounding everything in Alabama right now, whatever. You're going to get developed by a great coach. You go to Wake Forest, you're going to be playing against a lot of NBA talent, so that's going to be another something on your resume where if they look at the tape, they'll be like, oh, well, he was facing this dude. With Hunter Sallis being a defensive guy, they'll be like, oh, he was able to lock up the number 2 recruit in the nation who went to North Carolina or wherever the heck they're going. So that's another something that be on his resume, something that NBA teams can look at. So it's not all relationships. It's not all, although that one was, like you said, and it's not all, hometown guy comes back to be the hero. Some people want that. Sam Griesel wanted that. He did a really good job of getting Nebraska from under 500 to 500. It wasn't exactly what they wanted, but it was an improvement over what they were.
No. Sorry, Rico. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good. Good.
So, once again, don't get me wrong. It stings to not get the commitment of Hunter Sallis. The guy is an elite defender, and he would have helped out Nebraska. I think though, just once again,
this is just becoming norm. Like, just because Nebraska, and this is one of the biggest misconceptions that I hear when Nebraska misses out on, whether it's a transfer portal guy, whether it's a high school guy, whatever it may be, was that Nebraska didn't try.
Yeah.
Nebraska brought Bryce McGowan's back to the spring game to try to get Hunter and spent time with Hunter Sallis.
Kobe Webster was there too.
I straight up saw it 10 yards away from me on the sideline on Saturday. He, like, Bryce McGowan's was talking, who is probably your best NBA player in the last, or has the trajectory, because obviously Roby's been in the league for the longer period of time, but Bryce McGowan's doing just fine with the Charlotte Hornets. And so, like, has the highest ceiling of your NBA guys over the last X amount of years. When you look at Delano Banton and Isaiah Roby and Bryce McGowan, he definitely has the highest ceiling. And so, like, just because Nebraska didn't get the commitment of an in-state guy, and this is not just a Hunter Sallis thing, just because they didn't get a commitment of an in-state guy or convince him to come home and play for Nebraska, it doesn't mean they don't try. Like, I am 100% confident in saying that Nebraska put its best foot forward for Latrell Wrightsell and for Hunter Sallis and for whoever else. It's not like Nebraska's gonna be like, yeah, like, it'd be great to have him, but we're only gonna put 70% of our resources into this guy.
Hey,
and just so we can say, yeah, we tried, but he didn't.
Oh,
No,
darn.
But at the end of the day, also, it's like, unfortunately, Steve Forbes just did his magic, and Wake Forest, for whatever reason it may be, was more attractive to Hunter Sallis.
Well,
And
I
that's
know,
okay.
and Hunter Sallis has a high upside, but this isn't necessarily like losing Baylor Shireman. I mean, I'd like to see where Hunter Sallis's career goes. Obviously, he was much more heavily recruited coming out of high school, but he averaged 4.5 points last year. I know he's more of a defensive player, but I'm saying this is not an all conference player that you missed out on quite yet.
Can I also say with, like, Latrell Wrightsell, like, for goodness sakes, he went to Alabama.
Right.
He was the number 1 overall seed last year.
Yep.
They're getting guys in the NBA this year.
They were the favorite to win the title when the tournament started.
Despite all the off the field junk, that's not that was not. Now, Nate Oates probably didn't handle it in the best way at the time.
Not at all.
But also, I'm not sure if there is a textboock way to handle
a
a situation like that.
No.
I don't think anybody knows how to do that.
I don't know if that's that's a clear cut way to represent Nate Oates, or that should be, like, as much as, like, I didn't appreciate how he handled the situation, and I didn't agree with how they handled Brandon Miller in that area. Like, put that aside, on the floor, where if you're worried about getting to the NBA, go to the number 1 overall seed in the SEC, where you're going to get on ESPN, and you have this huge giant from a conference standpoint. You have this contract that every game's going to be on an ESPN network. If it's not an ESPN network, it's on ESPN Plus. Like, it's the number 1 overall seed. I don't understand how we get all up in arms about that. It sucks. It really sucks.
Well, Nebraska does need to do a better job of getting, like, in-state talent doesn't matter, first of all, as much in basketball as it does football. You take a baller out of Chicago, you take a baller out of Omaha, whatever, you just put a good team out there. But there does feel like still this lost connection between Nebraska basketball and the city of Omaha. And for good reasons, just like you're saying with Alabama, it's because there's a better program in Omaha. And that's just kind of what you have to accept right now as a Nebraska basketball fan. There is a question now with basketball now just going to 1890. Are they putting up enough NIL? And that's just something we won't know.
Nope.
We've heard from previous, past coaches say that, as far as the top programs know, Nebraska's not competing there. If they want to take that next step, they might have to take that next step in the NIL. But it is, I mean, at the end of the day, like you're saying, it's just a program recognition thing at this point, especially with Alabama. And even at this point, if you ever lose anybody to Creighton with Baylor Shireman.
I don't even know. And this is truly a question. And text line, feel free we can continue this conversation on the other side.
We'll do it.
Like, I don't even know if it's as cut and dry as Nebraska just needs to win. Like, I don't know if that's the case, because and it can be a conversation with basketball and football. And I'm more, I guess, talking about football in this case, with it becoming more of a recruiting hotbed. And it's not necessarily comparative to St. Louis or to Austin, Texas, or to Southern California, like whatever. Yeah. But with there being talent and coaches starting to take note, it's not going to be just beating Kansas State, Iowa State for this 3-star guy in the Omaha area. That's not what it is anymore. And if you truly continue to build the youth programs like you say you want to in the state of Nebraska, you are now saying, hey, big time programs, come take a look at what we have.
You are going to
take
lose.
a look at what we have. So now, not only is it important for you to win so you can beat out the Kansas States, the Iowas, the Iowa States, it's becoming even more important that you have a clear-cut plan. You have a solid foundational relationship, whether that be with Omaha West Side or Iowa Western Community College, because you're not just beating the lower Power 5 teams, you're beating Notre Dame. You're trying to beat other Big Ten teams that, frankly, have been beating you these last couple of years. This is not – it's becoming such a more important conversation when you say you want to continue building the talent in your surrounding area. Well, just understand that means it's going to be tougher to contain the talent in your surrounding area.
You build up the talent, the teams will come to get the talent. You're going to lose out on people. You're not going to get every single recruit out of the state. You're going to have to pick and choose which ones you want to get. And if that ends up straining relationships, then so be it. It seems as if that's kind of what's been going on with the university and the city of Omaha with some strained relationships. You're going to have to figure out a way to patch that up and start getting that top tier or mid-tier talent coming out of the city.
Well, we better wrap it up. The Ticket Water Cooler, wrapping it up here, but we do have happy hour coming up next with these guys on 93.7 The Ticket, so don't go anywhere. That is coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow on the Ticket Water Cooler with Brian Munson for Husker Recruiting Update. We'll do that tomorrow, and we'll see you guys here in just a minute here on the Happy Hour.
Stable career in assembly, CNC machine injection, got you covered. Hi, Bob, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
This is former Husker Kenny Wilhite. Some kids worry about basic math, others worry about basic needs. In Lincoln, 132 kids are receiving intensive support from Cedar Street Outreach Team. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day on May 24th, your gift goes even further. Go to GiveToLincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars to support Lincoln kids. That's GiveToLincoln.com, helping kids through Cedars.
Dana Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Dana Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Dana Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Dana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at DanaTrucking.com.